Morning, ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel, and in this video we are going to have a look at the Cromwell B event, where you can pick up a Cromwell B for absolutely nothing. Yes, absolutely free. There's no tricks or anything like that. You can actually get this tank for free. What is the tank like? Brilliant. It really is a fantastic tank. It's one of the best in tier 6, one of the best mediums in tier 6, other than the Panzer IV-S. I do think this is probably one of the, maybe the second best medium in tier 6. So how do you get your hands on this tank? It's quite simple. It is quite simple. All you need is 50 wins with using ×2 or ×5 tanks. Most people have 50 tanks. Most people do have 50 tanks in their garage, and most of them tanks will have ×2 or ×5. Even for a 40 or 50% player, this should be quite simple, because just 50 wins, and you can do this over 9 days, or now 10 days left. It is easy. It is absolutely easy. I do like Wargaming when they do these kind of events. That's only for a tier 6 tanks. Obviously with tier 8 tanks, that these kind of events shouldn't be as easy. But on top of the Cromwell B being a free tank, also you can get yourself a lucky container. Now, how the lucky containers work is you can see here, you can get yourself a lucky container where you can get a tier 5 tank absolutely free. So yeah, very good. So you can get these lucky containers, and of course if you do have the tier 5 tank, you'll also then, I believe, get a tier 6 container, then tier 7, etc., until you get a tank that you haven't got. That's how these lucky containers usually work. So yeah, you can get a few premium tanks for free in this event, but of course these lucky containers are a bit harder because you do need the mastery badges. So you need 2 mastery badges for the first container, and then you need 4 mastery badges for the next one. So you get 8 mastery badges in total. You can get yourself a camouflage and then 2 of these containers. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty good deal and a pretty good event. So what is the tank like? Now, it's got no hit points, well, 1,000 hit points, but it's got no armor whatsoever. The turret is 76 mil. I mean, it's not a lot, but if you use your gun depression, you may be able to get some troll bounces, but you can't rely on the armor whatsoever. Just take it as you've got no armor, and every shot that comes your way will be able to penetrate you. So DPM is 2,000, your reload is 4.8. That is with running the rammer. Probably wouldn't recommend the rammer. You're only gaining 140 DPM. I would probably, I mean, even the penetration is, if you run it with the calibrated shells, you are only getting 10 more. So to be honest, it is up to you. You could run it with an extra 10 millimeters of APCR pen, or 7 on your AP, not really anything. So it's totally up to you what you run it with. I just run it with the rammer because, I mean, 10 penetration is not going to get you too much, if I'm honest. So the DPM, as I've said, 2,000, penetration we've said, the reload 4.8, penetration 145 and 202. Average damage, you've got 160 alpha gun with 135 on your APCR and 200 on your HE. Aim time 3.6. Now for me, the aim time is quite bad. It feels bad when you're in game as well. It does feel very slow. For a medium tank of this, like this, the Cromwell B, the aim time does actually feel quite slow, and the dispersion as well is not the best at 0.326. It does have 13 degrees of gun depression, which is one of the best in the game. It's not the best, but it is one of the best in the game, and it goes a nice 64 kilometers per hour speed. So we're just going to get into some games that myself and a good friend of mine has just played in. He's trying to get the aces to get the camo. He doesn't really care about the crates. We're just going to fast forward most of this because it's not really the first bit's not really that interesting. So I mean, we've still managed to bounce 25 so far, but that was from a leopard. So there is a couple of tanks here that I do have to be careful of. That gargoyle really is annoying me. He's annoyed me all game really, because I'm unable to get some shots off on him, and when I do, I'm getting shot, so I just have to back up. So just be patient with it. Try and get yourself on a ridge, because the 13 degrees of gun depression does come in handy. Not that your turret is going to be super strong, but you're exposing your tank a lot less of time when you have your shot. So you have a shot and it's easier for you to back up. You've got to back up less than you would with a tank that has to go further forward, of course, with no gun depression. So you can see here, we've just been wrecked. We're not bouncing anything, and that's the thing with this kind of tank. Even though it is a fantastic tank, which it is, it's a brilliant tank, but you do have to be careful because of that armor. Tier 5 tanks are going to be able to penetrate you like no problem whatsoever, and that is the only problem with the tank. It's not really just a tank, it's there's quite a few tanks out there. Now this tank will be, I'm assuming, will be quite difficult to ace at the moment because a lot of people will be playing this tank. Now this game, got into a game with no other Cromwell Bs, but the game before that I tried to get the footage, there was 4 of us. There was 4 Cromwell Bs in the same game, and that's even with good players. Good players are going down playing this tank because they're going to be able to get the masteries, and they're going to be able to get some crates that you can get guarantee to get a tank. And of course some people will play it for the camouflage as well. So just 2 more tanks left alive. The Leopard, which again, this is where the gun depression comes in handy. 13 degrees is an awful lot. Now there's 3 in total, there's 3 Cromwells in the game. Of course, you've got this Cromwell, you've got the Explorer, and you've got the normal Cromwell that is in the tech tree. This by far is the absolute best because of that gun depression. The other Cromwells do not have the kind of gun depression that this Cromwell B has. Now, years ago, I gave away a load of these because we all got, when we went Tank Fest, we all got given some Cromwell B bonus codes. So we gave an awful lot away, the same as a Panzer 4S. And these, even when this tank does come for sale, it usually comes for sale like for £5, which is cheap for what it is. It is a brilliant tank. If you play tier, obviously if you play tier 6, it is a brilliant tank. We used to play tier 6 tournaments for fun, and we used to take these this tank because it's good. It really is a good tank. And the best thing is you're getting it for free, and it's not too difficult to get. And that's the thing what Wargaming, I believe, or I think, should do more of. They should do more of these events where people can get good tanks for free, not tanks that are OP. I would definitely say this tank isn't OP because it's not. It's a good tank for what it is. Anyone can be able, just because it's got the gun depression, anyone is able to penetrate you. Anyone is able to penetrate you with HE, so you are vulnerable, and people will be able to destroy you, even if you are upper tier. Tier 5s, no problem. Things like KV2 smashers, anything like that, you do have to be very careful of, because they will be able to take a big chunk of your hit points off. So we're watching Yusuf here. He's only, at the moment, he has got a lucky bounce at 160, so he has blocked something, and he's only on 458 damage at the moment. But that will change, and he actually does a pretty good job, especially as this is a tier 7 game. This tank don't usually seem to do well in a tier 7 game because everybody is going to be able to penetrate you, and a lot of tanks do big amount of damages. So do be careful of that when you are bottom tier. And of course, some tier 7s like this Tiger is a bit difficult to be able to penetrate, but if you do switch to the APCR, of course you will be able to penetrate them, but you're going to be doing less amount of damage. So far it is a 7 versus 5. The Tiger here now is a 1-shot, probably a 2-shot if he's going to switch to the APCR, as you can see. And there is now the Kunze Panzer, which he's going to focus on. I would probably focus on the Tiger 1 just to get him gone, but he's going to focus on this Kunze Panzer. Of course, now the Annihilator is there, so he just has to back up. Don't be brave when you come up against a tank like that, when you're only on 600 hit points. Don't be brave, ignore him and just go for a different target, because that Annihilator will be able to clear this Cromwell B with 1 shot, because it has 3 shells. He will be able to clear you if you're unlucky. You might be left on 50 hit points maybe if you are lucky, But when you're in this kind of situation, just ignore a tank like that and go for tanks that you can actually deal with. So he's going to go for the Kunze-Panzer. He is now a one-shot, but at this point in the game, it's a 5 versus 2. They got 2 bases and almost 850 supremacy points. Now, one of these tanks on the enemy team is actually AFK. The Stayer is AFK, which is unfortunate because that's almost a full hit point tank that no one has spotted and no one's going to be able to get because of the supremacy points. So that's quite a bit of damage that is going to be wasted thanks to an AFK. But it's now a 4 versus 2, 900 supremacy points, and Yusuf is just going to go round. He's going to let his IS-2 go first, and he is going to go first. He gets shot, he does get killed, but now the Annihilator is on a reload, and with the reload of the Cromwell B, he's able to shoot him 3 times before the Annihilator has even reloaded. So he was a little bit brave here. He does clear him, and that is 1,000 supremacy points, and there goes the AFK. So well played, Yusuf, and thank you for sending me this replay. So well done, Wargaming. Thank you for bringing out an event that is easy to play, easy to win in a tank, and again, it's not a mega OP tank, so don't think you're getting a mega OP tank. You are getting a good tank and a fun tank, and Wargaming need to do more of these kind of things. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Hope you get your Cromwell B, and if you're good enough and you get the 8 aces, to get the lucky crates as well. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.